Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back for another Captain's Unboxing. I'm the board game Captain.
And I'm Lynn.
And today we are going to be, and I'm very excited, because we're going to be unboxing the 4th edition of Twilight Imperium, which I am groping right here because I'm so excited. So Lynn, you said you've got a little opening in the plastic on that side. Why don't you start unwrapping it? So now,
I wanted to, is it on this side? I wanted to point out that they use the Oxford comma. Oxford comma for life.
Okay then, Oxford comma for life it is. Hey, if it's good enough for Twilight Imperium, it's good enough for me. You know, I want to point out that Twilight Imperium 3rd edition, with the 2 expansions, had become basically one of, if not my very favorite game of all time. I absolutely loved that game. We played it so much. And I'm now very excited to check out the 4th edition. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the first thing we've gotten here is a nice little Fantasy Flight Games catalog full of all the other releases, which include, of course, far too many Star Wars games. And then we have, whoa, a lot of cardboard punchy outy goodness. Why don't you puncture that plastic there? You've got the sword. So Lynn's going to puncture that, and then I will show we've got. Now this is a Twilight Imperium 4th edition Learn to Play. Seems to open up with a bit of background and storyline, and then first game setup. So they've got like a simpler first game for helping to teach people how to play. Looks like a fairly good explanation of the rules. Lots of diagrams, full color. Then it's got advanced rules and some diagrams of different setups for different numbers of players, along with a quick reference guide on the back. And then we have the lore compendium. So I'm guessing that this is, this seems to be all, it's full color and it seems to be all storyline information along with some very nice artwork. And then we have a rules reference, which is thicker than the Learn to Play guide. So I guess this is more in depth, set up to be a quick lookup guide to all of the rules here. There we go. Looks like basically a giant appendix. So here we have looks like score trackers and punch outs for ground troops and fighters and perhaps trade currency. There's the speaker token. Here we have the new what do they call those?
They're like the initiative order.
Yeah, they give you the initiative order and they give you a primary ability and then everybody else can pay to do a secondary ability. The name of what they're called escapes me at the moment. I want to see what the Imperial one is because that was one that one of the variant versions was much better in the 3rd edition.
There's a new one called Construction. That was in the 3rd edition.
I think that's instead, it looks to be, construction seems to be instead of logistics, because that was logistics.
Oh, I like logistics.
Well, it might be different. But let's see, so we've got Imperial says immediately score 1 public objective if you fulfill its requirements and gain 1 victory point if you control Mechatol Rex. So this is like the much better one that had come in the expansion, which is very good. Then we've got lots more cardboard punch-out chits for various fleet markers and control markers, and then we have, that's the home system for the Ghosts of Cruise, some various different systems here. Again, lots more systems. We've got some of these asteroid fields empty systems, and it looks like the supernova there from the previous editions. Then let's see. Wow, there is a lot. So I think that's the nebula. These are some wormholes. There is a black hole there. Keep them moving. Let's see. Then we have, here we go. Lots of planetary systems here. Very nice. Okay. These look, I have to say that actually they look ever so slightly better than the ones in 3rd edition. Just enough of an upgrade to for me to be able to remark on it. The wormholes, for instance, look much nicer. So here's some planets with wormholes in their systems. And then Here we go. Some more planetary systems. Lots more counters. There is Mechatol Rex, the all-important political capital of the galaxy. And that is the gate system to the Ghost of Cruce home system, as well as lots of other planetary systems and other chits. There is a lot of punch-out stuff. Now this, by the way, seems to punch out very easily. A lot of it's trying to just come out in my hand here, which is very good that they should be easy to punch out. And this is the final board that was in that wrapping there for the punch out, with some more planetary systems and some more chits for the different alliance symbols there.
It's the home world for the necrovirus.
Is that the home world for the necrovirus?
Yes, it's
okay.
in binary.
I wasn't sure because there was another there was that cyborg group, the L1Z1X, also, which they accidentally created the necrovirus, if I remember from my storyline. So let's see. Here we have another plastic baggie that has what appears to be, for the different colors here, it has the area for you to put your strategy, your fleet allotment, and your tactics tokens down, as well as trade goods. And it looks like it also has a really nice quick reference along the side here, which is fantastic. So you have it in all the different possible colors that you could choose to be. These are very nicely done. I like these a lot. They're two-sided, but seem to be the same on both sides. What do we have there?
Oh, that is yeah.
So those are all the races. Why don't you show them to the camera, hon?
That is the one for the people who made the necrovirus.
Okay, so on this side we have the storyline, but flip them over so we can see the game rules there. So here we have the Yisrael tribes, who were one of the original factions from the 3rd edition base box. And then we have the L1Z1X MineNet, which were also one of the original factions. They were the cybernetic descendants of the Lazaks, the last controllers of the universe. Of course, the humans, the Federation of Sol. Then we have the Yin Brotherhood. They were an expansion faction in last edition. I think they were in the first of the 2 expansions. Then we have the Nalu Collective. They were an original faction. The Embers of Muat, which were an expansion faction, and they were the guys who got to start with a War Sun. It was a downgraded War Sun. It wasn't quite as fast. But
do they still get to start with
That's a good question. Check out their abilities, because they were really good because of that. That War Sun made them...
yep, prototype War Sun.
There you go. Yeah, they were vicious because of that ability. That was really good. Then we have the Mentak Coalition. You liked them a lot last edition. The Barony of Letnev. They were another base set race. The Emirates of Hakan. They were the ones who were really good at trade, if I recall correctly. The Necrovirus, your absolute favorite faction from last edition. They were from an expansion, though.
Do they still have the
thing to eat technologies?
I don't know. Well, it says you can't produce a War Sun unless you own its unit upgrade technology. So maybe.
Have to look. They're
yeah.
organized a little differently than the cards were last edition. Do they have that ability?
Well, it says cannot research technology.
Keep going.
When you would research a technology, gain 3 command tokens instead. Once per combat, after one of your opponent's units is destroyed, you may gain 1 technology that is owned by that player.
So you can still do exactly what you used to love to do in 3rd edition. That was your favorite thing, was being them and attacking people to eat up their technologies. So we have the Winu, which were an expansion group. The Sardak Nor, they're the insect people. They were one of the base groups. The Ghosts of Cruce, I really loved their ability to control wormholes last edition. It looks like they still have it because everything was wormhole-oriented. The Clan of Sar. Now, these guys used to look just like dog people. They look a little... Their snouts are much shorter this edition, but... they had an ability. I'll have to see if they better even them out, because their ability sounded like it should be good, but it wasn't that good, because they had the thing where their space docks could move like space stations, but then they couldn't build in them when they moved them, so it didn't make them as good as they should have been, and I was never able to win with them, even though I kept trying.
Yeah, they can still
move their space docks? But can they... Does it say they can't build with it when they move them?
It does not say that.
Oh, so maybe they upgraded them now. Oh, so they might be more competitive. That's good, because it did feel like they should be able to build with them after moving. That would have made them much more competitive. I love these guys. The University of Jolnar, they were so good with the technology. The I'm still not quite sure how to pronounce it. I think
Zicha?
it's the Zicha Kingdom, which were the turtle people. They were really good on the defense. Oh, these guys were an expansion group. The Arborec, they were the ones who could spread from planet to planet without using ships, which was a really good ability.
We're back to the beginning.
So this is awesome. You've got all the factions that were in the base set in 3rd edition, as well as the expansions. So here, I'll give that right back to you so you can put it in the bag. What do we have here now? We have the various miniatures for the different in the different colors here. So we have green, red, purple, yellow, black, and blue. I'm going to open up the blue one to show you what they look like. So first off, here we have, it looks like a 2-part mini for the War Sun, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to see if I can put it together here on camera. There we go. And I think that did it. Did it? No, I had a little off. There we go. Oh, and it clicks into place. And that is, I'm going to bring this right up to the camera. That is so much nicer looking than the previous War Sun. But do not, if you have children, do not let them get their hands on it. Because if this were on the floor, this would be more deadly than a Lego for stepping on purposes. Then let's see, we have here, this appears to be, I think, this is either the new cruiser or new destroyer. I'm not sure. It looks very different from the previous one. Yeah, this has to be the destroyer, because I think this is the cruiser, which is much more sleek and streamlined now. And then we have some flags here for the ground troops, of course. And then let's see what else I can find in this bag here. Looking for the, there's some more. Oh, I think I found a Dreadnought, which the Dreadnought looks very similar to what it looked like last edition. There are some minor differences. It's more detailed, but very nice mini as it is. And the destroyers and the cruisers are much nicer looking than they used to look like in the last edition. Oh, and I found a carrier. Now the carrier, again, looks very similar to last edition, just like how the Dreadnought looks, just a little more detailed and more in line with the newer minis. And we have the fighter, which again looks very similar to last edition, just again a little more detailed. So very nice looking minis there. Are you popping open some card decks there?
Yeah, I'm separating them.
So why don't you show some to the camera? There's lots of decks of cards there.
Bunch here.
We've got some dice. Now it comes with a good number of 10-sided dice, because if you played 3rd edition, you know every roll is with 10-siders in Twilight Imperium, and there's lots and lots of decks of cards here. They're all on the bottoms of all the different parts of the insert, which, by the way, this is the nicest insert that I've ever seen from a Fantasy Flight game. Generally, they just have those cardboard troughs, but this is fantastic. Everything's got a place. It's very well organized. It's very nice. So here we have some of the, these are some of the objective cards here. They're basically the same as they were in last edition. What do we have here? This appears to be cards for the stats on different upgrades for different vehicles, different ships and ground troops and deep space cannons. So these are the technology cards then. And then we have, these are some secret objectives, it looks like. So the cards look fairly similar, almost the same, in fact, to how they were in the last edition. They're generally fairly art-free. It's just the text on them. I know, I've heard that the technology has been totally reworked, and there's not a tech tree anymore. It's just that a lot of the technologies have prerequisites of what technologies you need to have before you get them. So let's see if we can find the planet cards to see what the planet cards look like. I think you might have them there.
I have them right here.
Because those did used to have at least the artwork of the planets on them. Let's see what they look like now.
Well, they're double-sided.
Well, they didn't need to be random. If you recall, you took
Right.
a planet, you found the planet card. Let's see what let's show them to the camera and see what they look like.
Well, here's the pretty side with the fluff. And then there's, like...
Just a basic side?
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to flip it for anything.
Huh. Oh, well, you did have to mark them in some way to show that they've been used for their resources.
Oh, so maybe
you flip it.
over.
Maybe you flip them over now.
Because it's like black and white.
Yeah, I think we used to turn them sideways. Maybe you flip them over now to show they've been used. I don't really recall if we flipped them or turned them. It's been a while since we played 3rd edition, actually.
Here's my home world.
Your home world,
More
huh?
die 2.
Is that where the necrovirus are from? So let's see. What else do you have over there? Is it mainly just the planet cards? Anything interesting?
Yeah.
There are so many decks of cards in here. So I've got some tactic cards here. They look pretty similar to what they used to look like last time. And then, let's see. Some various different things. Here we go. Some political cards here. Trade agreements. Again, these are fairly art-free, so I'm just going to show them briefly because they're not all that interesting to look at. They're just full of text. So that's just about it. We've just got a few more cards here. I'm just going to see if there's anything worth showing, but I think that's pretty much it. What have you got over there?
I got some, it looks like one-use cards, like at the start of the strategy phase, gain 2 command tokens. Action, there's action cards, so we have to take an action to do it.
I have some more upgrades to various ships and such here. And some more technological upgrades in general. So that's it. That's everything that comes in the box for Twilight Imperium 4th edition. There you have it. So now, one thing I do want to comment on before we sign off here is this comes with far more in the box than you got in the base set for 3rd edition, and yet not quite as much as you got in the base set plus the 2 expansions for 3rd edition. So you've got all the extra races that came in the expansions, and you've got some more cards and more options than you had in the base set. But for instance, you don't have the extra of those initiative tiles. Like, you know, there were a lot of variant versions in the expansions. They don't have any of the variant versions in here. Plus, I don't see the mechanized ground troops, you know, those little tanks that came in one of the expansions. And I'm not sure if there are flagships here or not. I haven't been able to spot the flagships, so they may or may not be in here. But definitely, oh, wait a minute, nope, this is a flagship. There are flagships. There we go. So it does in fact have a flagship for each of the colors. So yeah, there's a lot more than there was in the base set, but there's still room for them to do expansions. Even though they packed so much in here, they could still do expansions to bring in some of the other things that they don't have in here that they had in the expansions in the previous edition, and they could even come up with even more races then if they wanted to. So there you have it. That's everything that comes in the box for Twilight Imperium 4th edition, and it is quite a lot. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments or questions or concerns on this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this unboxing and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelt with a K on YouTube, and hit that little bell icon on my YouTube channel to make sure you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on.